Early history of property law. The earliest record of property ownership goes back to the Babylonians in 2500 BC, before Christ. The Bible also furnishes many references to property ownership. Numerous references are found in the book of Genesis, including a passage relating to the purchase of land by Abraham, on which to bury his wife Sarah. Cursed be that removeth his neighbor's landmark, and all people shall say Amen. Historical records show that about 1400 BC, the king of Egypt divided land into squares of equal size and gave each Egyptian 1 square. The king in turn levied the taxes on each person. Early history of property law. At the beginning of the Christian era in Europe, the ownership of land was usually determined by the conquest. After the conquest, the ruler took over all of the land and titles were extinguished. Often sovereign rights were vested in the ruler by the Pope, but non-Christian lands, the practice of the ruler having the rights to all of the land was much the same. The land belonged to the sovereign, often referred to as the crown. Trend to private ownership. Fee ownership. As people turned from agricultural crafts and trades, they began to think of ownership of land without the fealty of the Lord, without obligation of service, and with the right to dispose of the land as they saw fit. Lands were established that abolished the practice of passing the title from the father to the eldest son, and steps were taken to better describe the property transferred. The Magna Carta. In 1215, powerful English noblemen forced the King of England to sign the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta is a document that forced the king to share authority with the nobles. By 1700, Parliament had gained supremacy over the king. The Statute of Frauds. In 1677, the English Parliament passed the Statute of Frauds. The Statute of Frauds prohibited any transfer of land or any transfer of interest in the land by oral agreement. All conveyances were required to be in writing. Stare decisis. The doctrine of stare decisis established principles that when a court hands down a decision regarding a certain facts, it will adhere to that decision in deciding all future cases where the facts are substantially the same. Types of property. Property is divided into 2 classes, real and personal property. Real property is immovable and can be recovered. The interest that a man has in its lands, tenements, or hereditaments include land, buildings, trees, and the right to use them. Anything that grows on the land or any structure that is affixed to the land is real property. Personal property is immovable and is often cannot be recovered. Title. Title is the right to own real property and the evidence of that right. Right to ownership and possession of the property. Title is the outward evidence of the right to ownership. Clear title, free from encumbrances. Good title is free from litigation. And merchantable title. Record title. A title entered on the public record is record title.